Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 26th of November 2024 and unfortunately guys, the price of Bitcoin is marginally gone down, but if you look at the global cryptocurrency market, that has pumped up once again. And look guys, it is pretty simple. The only reason why the prices of Bitcoin has been going down is because Joe Biden is escalating war between Ukraine and Russia, isn't it? And what is a bit creepy and strange guys is, none of the mainstream media is covering this news. And it is one of the reasons why average people are not aware as to why the prices are going down, isn't it? Now look guys, so far as mainstream media is concerned, you can make an argument that most of them are complete fake news, isn't it? Now I would really recommend you guys to go ahead and be active on X, cause look, we are living in a world where having a lot of information is not important, but getting information from first source is really important. And immediately after the US election guys, Elon Musk did actually put out a tweet that you are the media, and that is so critical not just in politics, also when you look at the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it? Now regarding Bitcoin guys, we do have a really interesting development, and this news guys, to be honest, is not surprising at all, and this is to do with MicroStrategy. They have purchased another 55,000 Bitcoin, and what is crazy guys is, they have purchased it at a staggering price of $5.4 billion. Now I'm pretty much sure guys, because of this news, other trillion-dollar companies and billion-dollar companies, they will try to make a similar move as well, isn't it? Now regarding cryptocurrency and blockchain guys, we do have a really interesting development, and the CFTC guys, that is Commodity Future Trade Commission in the United States of America, they have gone ahead and published a report, and they are talking about tokenization, so we'll definitely go ahead and take a deep dive into this. Now look guys, the whole drama between Gary Gensler and SEC is only because so far as regulations of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are concerned, legally speaking, that should fall under CFTC and not SEC. And a lot of people who are upset that Gary Gensler is kind of going beyond his role and trying to attack cryptocurrencies. Now regarding CFTC guys, they have been massive advocates of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, so we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on the report regarding tokenization. Now regarding Bitcoin guys, we do have a really interesting development, and Cantor Fitzgerald, they are planning a Bitcoin-backed lending program, and they are planning to do that via Tether, so we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on this. Now me personally guys, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin-backed lending programs, cause historically guys, some of these projects have failed miserably. So we can think of BlockFi as well as Celsius, they went completely belly up, isn't it? So what I'll do is guys, I'll go ahead and explain what this news is all about, and then I'll go ahead and highlight some of the dangers of having a Bitcoin-backed lending program. Now mind you guys, these are completely my opinion, you can 100% disagree to it, and if you do have any additional comments, please make sure that you mention them in the comments below, cause there is a very high possibility your comments will be absolutely spot on and correct as well. Now the next news I'd like to talk about is connected to stable coins, and Singapore Gulf Bank, which is banked by Whampoa Group, as well as Bahrain's Mumtakalat Holding, they are planning to acquire a stablecoin payment firm. So I'll definitely go ahead and discuss what this news is all about, cause check this out guys, they are planning to raise $50 million by year in 2025, cause looks like they want to expand the products and they want to enhance the payment network, so I'll definitely go ahead and give out more information regarding this. Now the final news guys is all the way from Hong Kong, and ZA Bank or ZA Bank, which is Hong Kong's largest bank, they have launched retail cryptocurrency trading, and they will be the first in Asia to offer such services, and looks like they want to be a game changer in the industry, isn't it? So essentially guys, what would happen is, using your banking account, you might directly be able to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is definitely a game changing and a really bold move in my opinion, so I'll definitely go ahead and share more information regarding this. So quite a lot of cover guys in today's episode, and like we do in every Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, we will be looking at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news guys is connected to artificial intelligence, and it is no surprise it is from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the news essentially is that G-Core, along with this Tech, they have launched joint venture to accelerate building, training and deploying AI solutions in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, so I'll go ahead and share more information regarding this. And the second news guys is from the Emirate of Abu Dhabi, and check this out guys, apart from hosting the first ever Bitcoin MENA event in Abu Dhabi is also planning to host the first ever NFL event, and this will not be an ordinary event guys, it will be an event with Bitcoin rewards for players, so really interesting move to be honest, so I'll definitely urge you guys to go ahead and keep an eye on this news. So quite a lot of cover guys in today's episode, let's kickstart with it right away. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey, firstly Advanced Media, Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well. And Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. They're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously. And they're focusing on 3 P's. That is people, planet, and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. They also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing, and hosting training workshops, seminars, and community events that educate, inform, and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform. Check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since you're taking care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, since the last 2 days, guys, the global cryptocurrency market has been pumping up, but the price of Bitcoin has been going down, which just means one thing, guys. Since the last 24 hours, a lot of altcoin has been picking up paces in it, and I wouldn't be surprised, guys. This is the time when a lot of meme coins or NFTs tend to pop up the most, and that is clearly what the number says as well, isn't it? Now, if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume, guys, it is still looking extremely good, and it is at a staggering $226.76 billion. and since the last 24 hours, guys, it is marginally down by 16.50%. But check this out, guys. If you look at the volume of decentralized finance, the numbers are absolutely horrendous, to be honest. Despite the total cryptocurrency market volume hovering over the $200 billion mark, the volume in decentralized finance is not even 1/10 of that. It is only at $16.16 billion, and decentralized finance, guys, as of today, is accounting for only 7.12% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And if you look at the total value locked, guys, it is at $118.18 billion, with Lido still dominating so far as total value locked is concerned. And in terms of dollar amount, it is at $34.09 billion. Now, decentralized to centralized exchange dominance, guys, is extremely consistent since President Donald Trump got re-elected, and today it is at a staggering 38.96%. Now, if you look at the volume of decentralized exchanges, guys, I'm going to run through the top 5 decentralized exchanges, and Uniswap is at number 1 position once again, and its 24-hour volume is $3.17 billion. Radium is at number 2nd. Its 24-hour volume is $2.72 billion. PancakeSwap is at number 3rd. Its 24-hour volume is $1.45 billion. Orca is at number 4th. Its volume is a bit shy of the $1 billion mark. It is at $895.93 billion. And Aerodrome is at number 5th, guys. Its 24-hour volume is $664.09 million. Now let me quickly run through the volume of stable coins, because look, since the last 3 weeks, the volume of stable coins is definitely blown off the chart, to be honest, and today it is at a staggering $204.98 billion. Now look, when the stablecoin volume is increasing, this just means in the next coming days and weeks, there is a very high possibility for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to be pumping up. But look, because the price of Bitcoin has marginally been going down, it just means one thing, guys. There is tremendous activity going on right now in the altcoin market, and even if you look at the dominance of Bitcoin, guys, since the last few days, it has consistently been going down. So look, if you're into short-term trading, you may want to look at some altcoins, at least for now. Who's to say, guys, with just a couple of meme coins or NFTs, you just might be a millionaire in just a matter of few days as well. Now look, this is definitely not financial advice, and make sure you do your own research, because according to me, guys, there is only Bitcoin, and everything besides Bitcoin is just called a shitcoin, isn't it? Now going back to the volume of stable coins, guys, with a volume of $204.98 billion, stablecoins is accounting for 90.40% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And if you look at the volume of Tether USDT, guys, it is at a staggering $181.45 billion. Circle USDC is at number 2nd, and its 24-hour trading volume is $12.63 billion. FDUSD, guys, is at number 3rd, and its 24-hour volume is $10.23 billion. Now, if you look at the market cap, guys, it is no surprise that Bitcoin's market cap has gone down, and today it is at $1.88 trillion. Just last week, guys, there was a very high possibility of the market cap of Bitcoin to cross the $2 trillion mark, isn't it? Unfortunately, guys, Biden, out of no reason, did try to provoke the war between Ukraine and Russia. Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, I talked about Biden's stance on war and President Donald Trump's stance on peace on the episode that I released on the 25th of this month. So please feel free to go and check it out, because their actions, guys, directly and indirectly has an impact on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now going back to the market cap, guys, Ethereum's market cap has been pumping up since the last 48 hours, and today it is at a staggering $420 billion. Now let's quickly run through the 24-hour trading volume, because Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $72.83 billion, whereas Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is $44.46 billion. Now if you look at the dominance, as I mentioned earlier, Bitcoin's dominance has been going down, and today it is at 57.33%, whereas Ethereum's dominance is also down to 12.80%. Now if you just look at the 24-hour trading volume, guys, via coin market cap, Ripple's XRP trading has definitely pumped up since the last week or so, and the only explanation I can think of is, with President Donald Trump getting re-elected, they are hoping that the case between SEC and Ripple completely gets thrown out of the window, isn't it? And only because of that, looks like traders are hunting to go ahead and buy a lot of XRP. That is my honest opinion. Now what I want to do next, guys, is, because there is a lot of activity going on in meme coins and NFTs, in today's episode, guys, I want to look at the total lifetime NFT earnings, and I tend to share these numbers once in every 3 months in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast. Now the number one, guys, so far as lifetime NFT earnings is concerned, that is Yuga Labs. And check this out, guys, they have made a record lifetime earning of $568.69 million. The second one is Suzuki, and the lifetime earnings is $127.77 million. Wheel Friends is at number 3rd, which I believe is by Gary Vee, and his earning is $122.19 million. The number 4th is Clonex, ex Takashi Murakami, and his lifetime earning is $119.05 million. And at number 5th, guys, is Proof Collective, and his lifetime earning is $100 million. Now look, guys, I very specifically remember when the price of Bitcoin was well below the $20,000 mark, their lifetime earnings was pretty much similar, and despite the price of Bitcoin pumping up by almost 5 times, looks like the lifetime earnings hasn't pumped up a lot, isn't it? So looks like the hype regarding NFT seems to have died down, to be honest, but the hype regarding meme coins is still going on, isn't it? Because when you talk about meme coins, guys, you can make an argument that there are genuine use cases as well. Now, guys, let's go ahead and look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And unfortunately, guys, the price of Bitcoin is way behind the $100,000 mark, but it is extremely strong at $95,177. And since the last 24 hours, guys, it is actually down by 1.64%, but since the last 7 days, it is up by 4.16%. Ethereum, guys, is at $3,490, and since the last 24 hours, it is up by 4.90%, and since the last 7 days, it is up by 10.42%. Solana or Sol, guys, it is marginally down as well, and since the last 24 hours, it is down by 4.04%, and if you look at the price, guys, it is at $240. Now, since the last 7 days, guys, it is down by 0.02%. Now, regarding Solana overtaking Binance BNB chain, guys, at one point of time, Solana's market cap overtook Binance BNB's market cap by well over $30 billion, but looks like the margin is shrinking right now. And today, guys, the difference between Solana's market cap and Binance BNB's market cap is almost at $29 billion to be precise, because Solana's market cap is $112 billion, whereas Binance BNB Coin's market cap is at $91 billion. Now look, guys, no matter what is happening in the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency space, Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, they are going ahead and acquiring Bitcoin, isn't it? And MicroStrategy once again did go ahead and buy additional Bitcoins, but what is a bit crazy, guys, is this is the largest ever Bitcoin purchase, because they acquired 55,000 Bitcoin, and they did that for approximately $5.4 billion, and as of today, guys, their Bitcoin holdings is at 386,700 Bitcoin, which is worth approximately $37.6 billion. Now, this acquisition of MicroStrategy acquiring 55,000 Bitcoin is the company's third this particular month, and they are following the strategy of accumulating Bitcoin since August 2020, and this is under the leadership of Michael Saylor, isn't it? Now, look, guys, me personally, I'm definitely not liking this, because when you talk about Bitcoin now, it is a play for multi-billionaires, trillion-dollar companies, early investors and influencers, isn't it? And that is not what Satoshi Nakamoto intended Bitcoin to be, isn't it? His idea of Bitcoin was peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Now look, guys, I'm not saying that MicroStrategy should not acquire a lot of Bitcoin. They have absolutely every right to go out and do that. But I'm thinking about people, let's say, in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, or even people living in underdeveloped nations. How will they be able to go out and manage or acquire any Bitcoin? Now you can make an argument that you don't have to buy an entire Bitcoin, and this is the narrative that Michael Saylor and a lot of people who have acquired Bitcoin often say, isn't it? But look, guys, the only reason they say that is because they want to drive the demand for Bitcoin, isn't it? And if the demand for Bitcoin increases, the price of Bitcoin increases, and in doing so, their existing network in Bitcoin increases. Now you can make an argument that the market gets to decide the price of Bitcoin, and that is one of the principles and philosophies of Austrian economics as well. So look, whatever MicroStrategy is doing, they definitely have full right to do that. But right now, guys, it does become so much easier for trillion-dollar companies as well as billion-dollar companies to go out and buy Bitcoin than, let's say, an average individual citizen. That is my honest thought. Now, guys, let's go ahead and discuss some interesting report which is done by CFTC, that is the Commodity Future Trading Commission. And what happened, guys, yesterday? The Commodity Future Trading Commission's Global Market Advisory Committee, which is led by Commissioner Carolyn D. Farm, has advanced a recommendation to expand the use of tokenized non-cash collateral through distributed ledger technology or DLT technology. Now, they definitely did not mention blockchain technology as such. They talked about DLT, that is distributed ledger technology. Now, look, guys, so far as IBM is concerned, they also have a permission blockchain, that is actually called as distributed ledger technology as well. So look, guys, this particular news definitely does not mention open blockchain, rather talks about distributed ledger technology. And this recommendation in the report aims to improve efficiency of collateral management in derivatives market, which can be done by leveraging blockchain technology, addressing operational challenges without altering existing collateral eligibility rules. And the Global Market Advisory Committee's Digital Asset Market Subcommittee, guys, also presented progress on regulatory solutions for utility tokens. Now this particular news, guys, is definitely a really massive news, as it marks a significant step towards US regulatory clarity for digital assets, with protections ensuring market integrity as well. Now look, guys, what I'd really like to see is President Donald Trump to make CFTC in charge of all the rules and regulations regarding cryptocurrencies, NFTs, meme coins, as well as tokenization world. How will that thing happen? I really am not sure, because one of the drawbacks with Gary Gensler and SEC was that they were overstepping the jurisdiction. Now could it be possible that all the regulations are taken away from SEC and put it to CFTC? I would really like to see that, but I really am not sure if there is a possibility for that to happen or not. Now, if you are someone who is thorough regarding SEC and CFTC, I would definitely love to have you on my podcast. Maybe we could release a standalone episode on that, isn't it? So drop me an email if you're a specialist in that area. Now, guys, let's go ahead and discuss a really interesting news, and this is to do with Bitcoin lending program. And what is interesting to note, guys, is that this will be done via Tether. Now, the news essentially is that Cantor Fitzgerald, they are planning a $2 billion Bitcoin-backed lending program, and they are doing that in collaboration with Tether, and they will allow clients to borrow dollars using Bitcoin as collateral. Now, the program could expand with increased crypto adoption. Now, this move definitely deepens the ties between Wall Street and cryptocurrencies, and is coinciding with Cantor's CEO, that is Howard Lutnick, who is preparing to become the US Commerce Secretary under President Donald Trump. And Lutnick has plans to diverse his interest in Cantor and hand over his Tether relationship, because Cantor already manages most of Tether's $132 billion assets and holds a 5% stake in the company. But look, as throughout the history of Tether, they have faced scrutiny over its reserve and also alleged use case and illicit activities. But here's the thing, guys, Tether consistently maintained that their operations are transparent and are law-abiding. Now currently in US, guys, there is a proposed US stablecoin regulations, isn't it? And as we get some more information regarding this, I'm pretty much sure it could have significant impact on Tether's offshore operations. Now this news, guys, definitely seems like a promising news, but me personally, I'm definitely not an advocate of this particular news, guys. Because look, guys, while Bitcoin-backed lending programs like the one proposed by Cantor Fitzgerald may seem to offer opportunities for liquidity without needing to sell any Bitcoin, they do actually come with a variety of risks. And these risks, to be honest, guys, are extremely serious as well, because in the past, there have been catastrophic failures of prominent crypto lending platforms, and the two names I can think of is BlockFi and Celsius. So what I want to do is, guys, I want to go ahead and highlight some of the dangers of Bitcoin lending program, and I'd like to talk about price volatility and risk of liquidation, platform failure and insolvency risk, lack of transparency and regulatory oversight, and finally I also want to touch base on counterparty risk and security risk. So let's start by discussing price volatility risk and risk of liquidation. Now look, guys, we know that Bitcoin is extremely volatile, isn't it? And the value of Bitcoin-backed loans is directly tied to its market price, and unlike traditional collateralized loan, where the value of collateral tends to be more stable, Bitcoin's price can fluctuate dramatically within a short period. For example, guys, in 2021 alone, Bitcoin did actually reach a new all-time high back then. It was at $64,000, isn't it? And just in a year's time, guys, it did actually go below the $20,000 mark, and this extreme volatility does actually create a major risk for borrowers in Bitcoin-backed lending program. And if the price of Bitcoin drops substantially, the collateral value could fall below the required threshold, and that would trigger a margin call, isn't it? And a margin call forces the borrower to either deposit more Bitcoin to cover the losses or face liquidation of the collateral, isn't it? And to give a very specific instance, guys, when the price of Bitcoin dropped during the 2020 bear market, platforms like BlockFi and Celsius, they were forced to liquidate collateral to maintain their liquidity, isn't it? And users who borrowed funds using Bitcoin as collateral found themselves with reduced or no access to assets when the market turned sour, and their inability to meet margin calls led to mass liquidations, contributing to the downfall of Celsius and BlockFi. Now what about platform failure and insolvency risk, guys? Now look, the inherent risk with any Bitcoin-backed lending program is the financial health and operational stability of the platform offering their service. And when platforms like BlockFi and Celsius began to struggle, it did become extremely clear how reliant users were on these platforms to manage and safeguard the assets. However, guys, these companies mismanaged client funds and made poor decisions that led to insolvency, isn't it? And BlockFi, for example, guys, offered a variety of financial products based on lending and borrowing Bitcoin and other crypto assets. And during the market crash of 2022, I very specifically remember many of BlockFi's loans did actually go bad, and these were loans linked to FTX exchange. And as FTX collapsed, guys, BlockFi was left with a large portfolio of bad loans, and they were unable to meet clients' withdrawal requests, which eventually led to bankruptcy. And Celsius also suffered a similar fate, and they used to allow users to deposit Bitcoin in exchange for high returns, but its risky investment and lack of liquidity caused a massive shortfall when the clients attempted to withdraw funds, isn't it? Now, in both cases, guys, users faced the harsh reality of losing access to the Bitcoin, and in some cases, guys, the entire balance went to zero as well. Now look, guys, these failures definitely underscore the risk of putting trust in centralized platforms that manage crypto assets, and this goes back to the very second line of Bitcoin white paper, guys, because the statement actually reads that the main benefits are lost if a centralized entity is required to prevent double spending. So look, guys, when users deposit Bitcoin into these platforms, they do relinquish control over their funds, and that exposes them to the risk of platform failures, isn't it? And there's always this notion, guys, not your keys, not your crypto, and I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that motto as well. But before that, guys, when you talk about Bitcoin lending platforms, let me go ahead and talk about the lack of transparency and regulatory oversight. The Bitcoin-backed lending program, they do often lack the regulatory oversight that traditional financial institutions are subject to, isn't it? And in many cases, guys, these platforms operate in jurisdictions where crypto regulations are unclear or non-existent as well, and the absence of clear legal frameworks means that there is little to no protection for consumers if things go wrong. Moreover, guys, many crypto lending platforms have faced accusation of lacking transparency in how they manage user funds, and Celsius and BlockFi, for instance, they offer high yield returns on crypto deposits, but were not transparent about the underlying risk of where the funds were being used. And when these platforms collapsed, guys, it was actually revealed that they made risky investments, and they actually used user funds to cover bad loans and failed to properly manage liquidity as well. Now look, guys, without strong regulatory oversight, there was little recourse for users who lost their funds, isn't it? And this is unfortunately an area where Tether had a red flag as well, because Tether, guys, did actually face criticism over the lack of its transparency. And this particular news regarding Cantor Fitzgerald planning to have a $2 billion Bitcoin-backed lending platform is also via Tether as well, isn't it? Now in the cryptocurrency world, guys, if you are some of the OGs as well as Bitcoin maximalists, they would actually state that despite repeated assurance, doubt remains about whether Tether holds a fully reserved claims, which makes its association with lending platforms like Cantor Fitzgerald more concerning. Now look, as if Tether were to face any crisis, it could actually impact the entire lending ecosystem, putting customer funds at risk. Now the final part I want to touch base is regarding counterparty risk and security risk. Now look, as Bitcoin-backed lending program, they often require users to entrust their Bitcoin to a third party for collateral management, and in doing so, guys, users face counterparty risk. That is the risk that platform may fail, get hacked, or otherwise mishandle the collateral, and the collapse of centralized crypto platforms like FTX has made this risk more apparent, especially given the increased prevalence of hacking attempts on such platforms. Now BlockFi and Celsius, guys, they were not immune to security issues as well. Celsius, if I'm not mistaken, they did actually face a major hack during its operations, and BlockFi faced similar concerns as well. Now look, guys, a hacked platform can expose user data and asset to malicious actors, which is an additional risk in Bitcoin-backed lending. Moreover, if the platform does not have adequate security measures in place, users may lose the entire Bitcoin or even any other digital assets in the event of a breach. And also, guys, when users deposit Bitcoin with third-party platforms, they are effectively giving up control over the private keys, isn't it? And this is the notion, guys. Not your keys, not your Bitcoin. And it definitely underscores the core philosophy of Bitcoin ownership that emphasizes the importance of holding private keys to maintain full control over one's asset. Now in lending scenarios, guys, unfortunately the platform holds the private keys, meaning the borrower do not have any control over the Bitcoin, and they are 100% exposed to the risk if the platform is compromised. Now look, guys, I cannot stress the philosophy of not your keys, not your Bitcoin, and the principle of not your keys, not your Bitcoin strongly emphasizes self-custody. where you need to hold your Bitcoin in a personal wallet and ensuring that you have full control over your private keys. Now, this particular concept of not your keys, not your Bitcoin is extremely important to Bitcoin ethos of distributed or decentralization, as well as individual sovereignty. And when you hold your private keys, guys, no third party can seize or liquidate your Bitcoin without your consent, and you're not exposed to the risk of platform failures or hacks. Now, Bitcoin, guys, is a distributed digital assets, and one of its key selling points is the ability to store wealth without the need for intermediaries. However, guys, when you use a Bitcoin-backed lending service, you essentially place your Bitcoin under the control of a third party, and this not only exposes your counterparty risk, but also to the operational and security risk of the lending platform, isn't it? And we've seen platforms like Celsius and BlockFi, they demonstrated the dangers of relying on third parties, and users who trusted these platforms with the Bitcoin were ultimately left without their funds when the platform went bankrupt or became insolvent. So look, guys, this philosophy of not your keys, not your Bitcoin does actually serve as a really strong warning to investors that self-custody is the only way to ensure full control and protection of your assets. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, what kind of protection layer does Cantor Fitzgerald has in the $2 billion Bitcoin lending platform. Now, guys, let's go ahead and discuss some news regarding Singapore Gulf Bank, which is actually backed by Wampa Group and Bahrain Mumtakat Holding Company. Because check this out, guys. They plan to raise $50 million by year-end 2025, and they are doing that by selling a 10% equity stake, and they are targeting product development, payment network expansions, as well as hiring. Now, regarding this bank, guys, they are licensed in Bahrain and Singapore Gulf Bank. They aim to acquire a stablecoin payment firm in Q1 of 2025, and they are focusing on Middle East and Europe. Now, stablecoins, guys, as we know, respect to fiat currencies, isn't it? And they're gaining a lot of traction for the speed and cost advantages. And Singapore Gulf Bank, or SGB, they offer integrated financial and digital asset management with plans to expand services to individuals by year-end. And this is amidst growing optimism and regulatory support for crypto worldwide. So definitely interesting move, isn't it? Now, the final news I want to talk about, guys, might be a game changer in the industry. In ZA Bank, or ZA Bank, they have launched retail crypto trading in Hong Kong. And check this out, guys. Yesterday, that is November 25th, ZA Bank, or ZA Bank, which is Hong Kong's largest digital bank, became the first bank in Asia to offer cryptocurrency trading services directly to retail users. And through the app, guys, users can now trade Bitcoin and Ethereum with fiat currencies. And this can be done in a seamless, secure environment with no need for multiple platforms. Now, this particular move, guys, is definitely a game changer, isn't it? And it also aligns with growing global demand for crypto services, with 70% of survey respondents indicating that bank-backed crypto services could popularize cryptocurrency trading. Now, the ZA Bank, or ZA Bank's crypto trading platform, guys, is backed by Hashkey Exchange, which is a licensed virtual exchange, ensuring regulatory compliance and security. And the bank, guys, aims to advance the Web3 ecosystem, integrating finance with technology. And they offer a low entry threshold, I believe, of $70, which I believe in Hong Kong dollars is 600 Hong Kong dollars. And check this out, guys. They also have zero commission fee for the first 3 months. Now, this particular bank in Hong Kong is the first digital bank in Hong Kong, which was licensed by Hong Kong Monetary Authority in 2019. And currently, they have over 800,000 users. And their comprehensive service, guys, includes banking, investment, insurance, and business solutions as well. And looks like they are committed to driving innovation in digital wealth management as well, isn't it? Now, look, guys, I definitely do think this is a game changer, and I'm really curious to check if any banks in the UAE tend to do that. Me personally, guys, I do have a Mashreq bank. So imagine you log into your Mashreq bank, and through your Mashreq bank account, you can go ahead and buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. That would definitely be a game changer, isn't it? Now, look, guys, I'm pretty much sure in the next coming months or so, we will definitely be seeing such news. So definitely great news in my opinion. So these were the news, guys, from the cryptocurrency and blockchain world. Now let's look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. Now, the first news, guys, is to do with artificial intelligence. And G-Core and SDTech, they have launched joint venture to accelerate building, training, and developing AI solutions in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So let me go ahead and give out more information regarding this, because they have launched a joint venture to accelerate AI solutions development in Saudi Arabia. And the venture, guys, will establish an AI factory, and this will be for building, training, and deploying generative AI models locally and globally. And this is a strategic partnership where they combine G-Core's expertise in cloud-based AI infrastructure with HDTech's sustainable data center design capabilities. Now this particular news, guys, definitely aligns with Saudi Arabia's goal of becoming a global AI hub, isn't it? And this particular joint venture is subject to regulatory clearance. And regarding the AI factory, guys, it will house tens of thousands of GPUs for advanced AI model training and development, and there will be diverse AI use cases because they want to enable predictive analytics, deep data analysis, process optimization, and other advanced AI applications as well. And the AI factory cars will operate within HDTech data center. In HDTech, they bring energy efficient and scalable data center solutions to the venture. Now this particular partnership, guys, identifies areas of high customer impact and accelerates AI adoption in the kingdom. And this particular endorsement is supported by the Saudi Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, because looks like it is boosting digital capacity and investment, isn't it? And this particular news, guys, definitely strengthens Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's digital infrastructure, and there will definitely be global cooperation as well. And the CEO of HDTech, guys, has emphasized innovation and AI leadership, and the CEO of GCO has also highlighted the venture's regional impact. And with this joint venture, they promise to enhance businesses and citizens' access to advanced AI and cloud computing solutions. And so far as GCO is concerned, guys, they bring worldwide IT network with 180 points of presence in cutting-edge infrastructure. And look, guys, according to me, the joint venture aims to set the benchmark for AI infrastructure and innovation in the Middle East and beyond. So definitely great stuff. Now the next news, guys, is all the way from the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. And this is, guys, connected to Bitcoin rewards. And the news essentially is that Abu Dhabi is planning to host the first ever NFL event, and they're doing that with Bitcoin rewards for players. And Abu Dhabi, guys, will actually host the first NFL event featuring flag football with Bitcoin rewards for winners, and the event is called as the Bitball Flag Football Showdown, which is scheduled to take place on the 10th of December. Now this particular showdown, guys, will take place during Bitcoin Meta Conference 2024, where they want to go ahead and blend sports and cryptocurrency innovation. And Super Bowl champion, that is Russell Okung, is a professional athlete to receive a salary in Bitcoin, and he will lead the lineup of NFL legends, and over 22 notable players will be joining him as well. Now the winners of the Bitball event will be awarded in Bitcoin, highlighting the integration of sports with Bitcoin, isn't it? And the event, guys, emphasizes financial sovereignty, a cause championed by Russell Okung, and the event capitalizes on the growing global popularity of flag football. And flag football, guys, was recently named the official game of NFL Pro Bowl and will be featured in the 2028 Summer Olympics as well. Now this particular event, guys, further celebrates flag football's recognition in professional leagues like NFL, and this particular game is part of International Federation of American Football's effort to expand flag football's global reach. And the match, guys, blends traditional sports with emerging technologies like cryptocurrencies. And the organizers, guys, highlight the event as a reflection of Bitcoin community's collaborative ethos. Now this particular showdown will take place in Abu Dhabi, and it does mark a significant collaboration between American football and Middle Eastern sports landscape. And NFL legends, guys, advocate for broader awareness of financial and technological literacy through this initiative. And this particular event, guys, emphasizes the convergence of cutting-edge technology and athletic excellence, and it is expected to bolster flag football's profile internationally and reinforce Abu Dhabi's status as a destination for pioneering events as well. So I do feel, guys, this is definitely a really innovative move as well, isn't it? So definitely an interesting news, not just for Abu Dhabi, guys, but for the entire sporting world as well as Bitcoin community as well, isn't it? Definitely interesting news. So that's about all, guys, on the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB, listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Eric who asks, what's your take on MicroStrategy's Bitcoin accumulation? Could this move influence Bitcoin price movement in the short term and long term? Now the answer to that is a big upfront yes. I do feel so far as the influence on price is concerned, it will have a drastic impact not just on short term but in long term as well. But regarding your first point of the question, I did actually mention this earlier as well, as to what is my take on MicroStrategy's Bitcoin accumulation. Now look, Eric, I've always said this. MicroStrategy definitely has every right to do whatever they want to do with the money, and Michael Saylor can do whatever he wants as well. But when you talk about Bitcoin, ideally, according to me, it is kind of like people's money, isn't it? Now, that thing being said, let me reiterate that MicroStrategy can definitely do what they want to do, but when you talk about Bitcoin now, it is becoming a game for multi-billionaires, trillion-dollar companies, investors and early adopters, isn't it? And that, to be honest, to a certain extent, does sound like a pyramid scheme, isn't it? Now, I'm not saying that Bitcoin is a pyramid scheme as such. According to me, Bitcoin is actually the purest form of money. Now, MicroStrategy, they've been aggressively buying Bitcoin, isn't it? And their Bitcoin accumulation is definitely a bold move that underscores their long-term faith in Bitcoin as a store of value and a hedge against inflation. And I very strongly feel, Eric, by adding 55,000 Bitcoin at such a significant cost, the company is signaling confidence in Bitcoin's future, and this will definitely inspire the countries to reconsider the crypto strategies, isn't it? Now, I do feel that in the short term, such prices can create upward pressure on Bitcoin price due to reduced liquidity in the market. However, the broader impact might be muted given Bitcoin's current market capitalization and trading volumes. Now, also, if you look at the share prices of MicroStrategy, that did actually go down as well, isn't it? And the answer to that is pretty simple. When they go out and spend a lot of money, if you look at the debits and credits, a lot of the funds have actually gone out from the company, isn't it? So it is a no-brainer why the share prices have gone down. But look, in the long term, I do feel that MicroStrategy's action definitely strengthens Bitcoin's narrative as a reserve asset, and it is showcasing how institutional adoption can bring stability and credibility to the market. And this move, according to me, Eric, could encourage further institutional entry, thereby reinforcing Bitcoin's role in the financial ecosystem, while at the same time potentially driving sustained price appreciation as well. So definitely genius move in my opinion. And we've already seen other companies such as MetaPlanet, and I'm pretty much sure there'll be other companies who will be following a similar pursuit as well. So definitely a good question. And that's about all, guys. I'm the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto with Coffee podcast, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and the Middle East, from the cryptocurrency, blockchain and now artificial intelligence world as well. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.